And now, this is for the older people, because the students already know all these things. Here's the set of questions that we're going to go through. This is going to require serious math. First people up are going to be enormous winners. How many horses are there in the United States of America? You're right, the answer is 51 million. Now, a much more important issue is how much waste does each horse develop each day? Now, that's an important concept. How about 21 pounds? All right, so now let's do the whole math on that, and I think it comes out, and we're going to find this out, I think, as we go along, that that's about 1 billion pounds of waste per day. That's an awful lot of shoveling, isn't it, really? Okay, well, it doesn't only turn into shoveling, it may turn into gold. And the next presenter is our friend Ernie Lefler, and the business is Equine-ECO Green. Equine-ECO Green. 1 billion pounds a day, think about it.
Equine-ECO Green has solved the problem of what to do with large amounts of waste material at equestrian dense communities like Wellington, Florida. And that's actually the site of our first location that we've identified as one of the most problematic areas. You probably all have heard about it in the news here, and it's something that we are addressing with our program. We have zero cost for our material because the haulers that are taking the waste material, are collecting it and moving it out from the arenas where the polo grounds are and the equestrian facility is in Wellington, they are already being paid by the owners to collect and remove it from the facility. And they want to do that quickly. They do it several times a day. They don't want that stuff hanging around. The problem is what to do with that when they remove it. They can only legally dump it at a couple of different places. One would be Solid Waste Authority at the landfill. They have to pay to take it there, plus it's a long drive for them from Wellington. The sugarcane industry allows them to go ahead and raw apply it on the land out there. It's a long drive. It's about an hour round trip, and it's really bumpy roads, puts a lot of wear and tear on their equipment. The other possibility that you probably read about in the news is illegal dumping. A lot of farms in the neighboring communities will allow these haulers to dump on their property, and a small amount is okay, but some of these, if you're not aware, are literally covering acres 5 feet deep, and that really has a problem. Ask any of the neighbors who happen to live near that. We have 4 products that we take from our free material that we produce. Obviously, the manure is one. We separate that out. We go ahead and compost that till it's mature, and then we bag and sell it later on. We also have the bedding material, which is actually wood shaving for high-end. They also use straw and regular folks, but the high-end community uses wood shavings. We go ahead and we wash that. We wash it and sanitize it, dry it, bag it, and turn it back into bedding for small and large animals. Also fire logs. We also have the potential, if there's ever a demand for one product more than the other, we can always shift over our production as needed. We can do it on the fly. The owner, Shelly Townsend, is a true patriot, and I mean that with all sincerity. She is dedicated to hiring veterans exclusively in her company, and it has started with me. I am a retired Navy veteran, 25 years, and I asked her that question before I got on board. I said, "Are you willing to hire veterans?" She says, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? I would only love to do that because of the fact that we're relatively, like with the gentlemen from the Corps that were here earlier, I guess are you still here? Hoorah, gents, good on you. You know, we're noted, everybody, even if you happen to be a sailor, that you know, we have some good skills, we have work ethics that everybody wants, and you know, you gentlemen have shown. I'm glad you got back here safe, by the way. Shelly has actually been awarded a utility patent for this process. That was a long road, and if anyone has ever tried to get a patent, it is a difficult process. This is something that, again, she worked long and hard at and invested a lot of money in. The source material that we have, again, like I said, is free. People want to get rid of it, and we want to help them get rid of it. So as Arthur said, there's 51 million horses in the United States. In Wellington, in season, 15,000. 15,000 horses producing 70 pounds of excrement a day. You can do the math, it's a lot. It comes out to be about 1 million cubic yards per year is what it amounts to. We already have distribution contracts in place, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But our partner, which is Black Gold Compost Company already is in, if you ever get any type of material for your garden or things of that nature, they're already in place with Black Cow at Home Depot, Lowe's, TSC, and Walmart. So we're just going to piggyback their distribution chain. And we already, again, like I said, we have those contracts in place. $2.1 million in contracts, in fact. That shows the faith that this gentleman who's been in business for 30 years sees the potential for what we're doing and is right behind us. So with that, again, the materials that we're taking, the raw materials, we're doing the 4 products that I just told you about, which is, again, the compost, the 2 types of animal bedding, and the fire logs. It's not glamorous stuff, okay? But guess what? I'd rather have it in that form than in my glass of drinking water. That's just me. Call me crazy. For us to meet our financial goals, we only have to get 12.5% of that 1 million cubic yards a year, 125,000 cubic yards. And we've already contracted with the haulers, the local haulers already, to provide that amount. We also know that because of our convenient location that we're going to have other haulers want to dump with us because it is legal, it's convenient, and we help them out in more ways than one. Our competition, yeah, we have some competition. We're not the only ones that come up with animal bedding or compost or any of those things. Yes, there's competition for all those things. We actually can have about a 10% better price point than what they have. You know, I think that's not necessarily going to put people over the edge to buy ours over someone else's, but our quality is going to be just as good. And there also is a segment of consumers that are going to like the idea that this is a recycled product, and they're going to say, hey, I'd rather get that than get something from virgin wood. The haulers that, yeah, there's, like I said, there's different haulers other than the one that we've contracted with for our supplies. But again, we expect to bring them on board very soon as well. Commercial waste haulers, there is no waste management or SWS or anybody like that is going to be competing with us because it's too small for them, quite frankly, and they don't really want to work in that arena, from what I'm told. Our advantages are that we have a complete intellectual package. Intellectual property package, excuse me. So we have the utility patent, we have registered marks, and we have trade secrets. You say, oh God, how are you going to wash that stuff? Well, really what we're doing is we're using commercially available products, large washers, large dryers, and we're using it in a proprietary fashion is what's going on. So that's part of our trade secrets. I'd love to share it with you, and if you want to put up the money, I'll be happy to give you all that information. Our location, like I said, is within 10 miles of the equestrian facilities in Wellington, and we have a exceptional management team, starting with Shelly Townsend, who's the owner and inventor, founder of Equine-ECO Green. She has deep roots in the equestrian community and show community. She's shown horses, ridden since she was a child. We also have racing industry leaders that are on our team, as well as operations management, program management, experience of many decades, composting experience from decades of work with very successful community-based type composting. And also we have quite a broad and comprehensive legal representation as well. We are scalable up to, I've identified 40 locations in the United States and about 15 internationally. What we're looking at here for revenue for the first 3 years for Wellington, which is our first location, is $4, $5, and $6.2 million for the first 3 years. That shows a 25% increase each year. The 25% is based on our anticipation and probability of getting other haulers to give us their material as well. Our funding, we are seeking $3.5 million. That is for the build out of this facility, as well as for the operating expenses, and also for the to pay the folks that are going to be working there. The rollout is expected to be what we're looking at for to hit the $100 million mark is going to be in the 5 to 10 year range. We can do that organically with just raising our own capital and putting up new facilities, or we can, the other one that's going to do it more robustly and quickly is to do licensing and franchising agreements, which can do us actually get going multiple events at the same time. Our exit strategy is acquisition.
Thanks, Ernie.
Okay, thank you very much.